Hello, ma'am. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for taking out your time today. Could you please introduce yourself and tell me a little bit more about your HR profession?
Good evening. My name is Prakriti and I'm the HR manager at HDFC Bank. My role as an HR professional is to manage various functions related to my employees. Now, these might include recruiting, there is hiring, there is onboarding, there's employee engagement, and compliance with labor laws and regulations.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of responsibilities. Could you please tell me about your educational and professional background and how it led you into a career of HR?
Okay, so I firstly received my degree in bachelor's from Lady Shri Ram College, Delhi University. I specialized in business administration, wherein my specific focus was in human resources. I started working as an HR immediately my graduation in various companies. So it started off me being an HR coordinator, and eventually I worked my way up to become an HR manager. And I think this was something that I always wanted to do. I was passionate about it. So that is why I'm continuing.
Wow, that sounds so nice. So, ma'am, can you please let me know how long have you been working as an HR and can you please walk me through a typical day in your HR life?
Okay, so as I said that I started working immediately after my graduation. It has been 4 years for me in the business, and I'll say that a typical day in life of an HR includes going through and reviewing a lot of emails on daily basis. You have to go through a lot of emails. You have to cater to every need of your employee. Whatever they have a query with, they will approach you. So you have to make sure that you are answerable to everyone, each one in the office. So sometimes it do get a little bit hectic, but then you know how to manage it.
I get it. I too personally get a lot of emails. I tend to skip them out, but I get it how important it is for you to check those emails on a regular basis, as most people just usually complain or ask issues through emails, right?
Yes.
So can you just walk me through a simple recruitment or selection process, as I say, in a typical job opening in your company? Like if a new person has to join, so what are the things that you usually do and how does it usually act upon and what are the steps that you need to follow as an HR?
Yes. So basically, the recruitment process, firstly, it goes like there's job analysis and planning. Then
Okay.
there's sourcing and attracting candidates. There's something called as screening applications where we list out and sort out which employees do we need, because eventually we are looking all for the best talents to hire. There's interview process for the candidates, their assessment and selection. There's a background check, and eventually there is offer, and finally there's onboarding. That is how it goes.
Well, that sounds like a pretty long process.
It is. It is.
So don't usually participants get tired out of such a long process, or do they come up with enough strength to continue till the end?
I mean, they have to. You have
They have
applied for
to.
the job.
Yeah, I get it.
Yes.
Uh, but Acha, I wanted to know. So, in our day-to-day life as an HR, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face as a role of an HR professional?
Well, I think I mean, it's prioritizing your deadlines and meeting the deadlines. That is the most important and I'll say toughest part, because you're not just responsible for yourself, but you're also responsible to meet every demand of the employees. So sometimes it gets a little bit hectic, but then as a professional, you gotta manage it.
That seems tough because deadlines. Personally, I am not that good with deadlines, but if you're working in a corporate world and that to an HR, you need to stick to those deadlines and you need to make others stick to it too.
Exactly, exactly.
I
And
get it.
sometimes, as I said, that there are employee related issues. Sometimes these issues could be very time consuming. So not only for them, but then you have to look after the organization as a whole, because at the end of the day, that you're accountable for everyone.
Mm, okay, that seems nice. Well, thank you for sharing your insights with me. What kind of skills and qualities do you think are important for someone who wants to work in HR?
I think your communication skills are very crucial. At the same time, your interpersonal skills are very crucial. Interpersonal skills, I'll say, they are more important than your communication skills. You need to be really interactive with everybody in the organization. You need to make everybody feel inclusive at the same time. Not just the employees, the managers, and other stakeholders as well. And it's important to have strong organizational time management skills. I think finally there should be a strong sense of ethics and integrity, as an HR professional, because you often deal with a lot of confidential information. and you need to maintain the trust within the organization. So that's very important.
So good communication, interpersonal skills, and ethics. Well, that typically
Yes.
sums up the entire HRO, right?
Yes, it does.
So have you ever faced a situation that a person is forcing about you to leak a private information about any other colleague?
I mean, that's a tricky question to answer. There could be, there are, I'll say, but then at the end of the day, you're responsible for your own actions. So you are supposed to stay in check. You're supposed to make everybody else stay in check. You cannot just go around and leak informations. Then you would be, at the end, you would be compromising with your job. And I think that's something which nobody wants.
Yes, ma'am. That is quite obvious that nobody wants their information to be leaked. And as an HR, you should be
Exactly.
proper ethical about that stuff. Well, that seems quite an
Yes.
important part of your job. Well, if we talk about HR in future, like these days, AI is taking over literally everything. So how do you see the field of HR evolving in the future? What are the trends or developments you think that will happen, and how will that impact HR professional?
I think, see, this profession has been growing rapidly in the past few decades, and I definitely see that it will grow even more in the coming decade because, especially with the upcoming technology and AI powered tools, people would definitely be relying on these things to recruit, to hire, and to manage employees. There would be specific emphasis on employee experience. There would be increased focus on diversity as well. So I definitely think that this profession would be growing. But at the same time, I'd say it would be simultaneously growing with the growing demands of AI and technology. There would be some sort of reliance on technology, but at the end, it will be in the benefit of the HR only. It will just help them to go through their busy schedule in the day.
So there's no chance a computer sitting right in front of you, taking your place, would be taking my HR interview in my next job application?
That is a possibility, but
Is a possibility.
that is a possibility, yes.
I get it. But see, every field is important in its own, and I completely get that. Well,
It is
thank you.
exactly. And I think at the end, nobody can replace the human force. It's the humans who are
That is
building all of this. So, yeah,
well. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your insights. It was very helpful to learn about an HR and the role of an HR professional.
you're welcome. It was great speaking with you. And if you have any further question, please feel free to reach out to me anytime.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I'm very happy with your answers. Thank you, ma'am. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Most welcome.
Have a great day.
Thank you.